Hi students, I'm Mrs. Flores, formerly Miss Krukowski. I will go by either one. My email address is still heather.krukowski@gcisd.net. I will unfortunately not be with you at the beginning of the year, if you couldn't tell. I'm leaving you in the great hands of Mrs. Barrett. I encourage you to get to know her, ask her questions. She'll be a great tool in you succeeding the first 6 to 9 weeks while I'm out. Today you will be going over the syllabus. There's quite a bit of information on there, so feel free to ask questions. You'll be playing a game in a minute where you go over all of that. If you have any specific questions that maybe you need to clarify something that is on the syllabus, ask Mrs. Barrett and she can clarify for you. You will be turning that in, so make sure you bring it home, go through it with your mom, dad, guardian, have it signed and returned next class period. So that will be your first grade of the whole first 9 weeks. It should be a great way for you to start the year off with an easy 100. Keep that syllabus for yourself in your binder. So I want you to have it all year because you will have questions. You will forget what some of the things are based on grading, late work, and whatnot. I do want to make a couple of clarifications, however, because it is not on the syllabus how we're going to be doing the homework grades. If you had me in the past, you know that I do everything on Google Classroom. You'll be turning in your homework on Google Classroom. Now, I'm going to give you a few tips on that because if you do not turn it in on time, it will be counted as late. And it's a digital copy, so as soon as you turn it in, there's a timestamp. That is what the grade will be based on. It becomes a headache when you try to turn your assignment in the morning it's due, the day it's due, at the beginning of class. I would suggest that when you finish your homework, most likely at home, which is when you should be finishing it, or maybe in the library after school, wherever you finish it, take a picture immediately and then upload it to Google Classroom. If anything, you have a timestamp on your phone of when you took the picture. I did have a couple of cases last year where I was able to give them credit for something, even with the digital stuff, technology issues. Worst case scenario, if Google Classroom is not working, you can email it to Mrs. Barrett. However, that should be your last resort because it does take extra time for her to go through her emails, enter it in the gradebook, as opposed to doing it through Google Classroom. Also, you may temporarily have a 0 in the gradebook if you email it versus going straight through Google Classroom. The grades are really only worth 15% of your overall grade, so I can guarantee you if you have one late assignment because of a technology problem, it probably is not even affecting your grade the way that you think it might be. You can sit down and do the math if you want to. I'm sure that you and Mrs. Barrett can figure it out, but you're most likely spending more time than you need to worrying about that one late homework assignment. The problem comes in when you have a habit of forgetting to turn in your assignment or waiting until the day of. In the future, almost every job is going to require you to do paperwork, submit things online, even if it's not work, if it's buying a house, if it's applying for a loan. There is a lot that's going on digitally, and there is a timestamp on that. So just being proactive, do not wait till the last minute. It's something that you're going to have to deal with for the rest of your life. So continue to do your homework, turn it in immediately. Don't make excuses. Technology not working is an excuse, and sometimes it's true, but that's just how life is. Make sure that it doesn't happen regularly, and then you shouldn't be in a position where it's affecting you negatively. Since you will be working on your own pace in class, with the videos I've given you, or that I've made, Miss Barrett will be giving you, you will have plenty of time in class to at least get started on homeworks. You may even have time to finish your homeworks. I would suggest using those people in your groups to help you complete your homework, not to copy, obviously. Your quizzes and tests are worth a lot more than your daily grades, so make sure you're understanding the material because it will catch you on a test or a quiz. But use the people in your groups as support, not as a distraction. If you find yourself distracted by someone in your group, please move to another group. If you need to work alone, these desks are pretty easy to move, so if we need to, we can put you in the corner by yourself. Do whatever you need to be successful. This is your grade. This is your learning. This is your math class. I am only here to provide you with the knowledge and materials that you need to succeed. but it's up to you how you use that material, the time, and the things that I'm giving you. Okay, my final spiel is going to be on Algebra 2 specifically. So many of you have probably done extremely well in your math classes in the past. Maybe you were able to show up to class. Maybe you didn't even have to do homework. Maybe you finished homework in class. You still made A's. It was easy. That's probably a few of you in here, if not most of you, who feel that way. Algebra 2 is going to be different. You will have to spend time outside of class. You will need to study. And you will need to make sure that you are keeping up with the homework. If you fail a quiz, it is not the end of the world. If it's your first quiz to fail, you will have the opportunity to make that up with the test grade. However, make sure you're learning from your mistakes. Use the quiz to help you study for the test. Learning by your mistakes is one of the best ways to learn, so don't think of it as a failure. Just think of it as an opportunity to grow. Everything we do this year is going to piggyback off of what we did the previous unit, so you will consistently need that information. Don't think that you're going to throw it away as soon as you're done with the test, because it will come back up. So make sure you're completely understanding everything. There will be tutorials in the library from 4 to 6, Monday through Thursday. It's either going to be Miss Brown or Mrs. Salazar, formerly Miss Popa. Miss Popa is actually the other Algebra 2 pre-AP teacher, so all of this material is extremely familiar to her. And Ms. Brown is more than capable and willing to help you as well if you need a tutorial. If you need tutorial times outside of that, you'll get with Mrs. Barrett directly and see if she can schedule a tutorial for you. Otherwise, nowadays there's infinite online resources. I'll share a few of those with you on my website and the external links. So Mrs. Barrett would also be able to point you in the right direction. If you have any further questions, please reach out to Mrs. Barrett. You can reach out to me. Like I said, I will get back to you as soon as I can, but I can't guarantee that it will be timely. Have a wonderful year, and I will see you in October.